Hey there, it's CJ Willie, and I'm cracking a pack today. So, what do I have to crack today? Well, I've got a Magic the Gathering Conspiracy Take the Crown pack. This set was released in August of 2016. It's one of the supplemental sets. It wasn't one of the main sets that Wizards puts together 4 times a year. It's a spin-off where it follows the original conspiracy set that was released in 2014. This set's got 221 cards in it. 90 of those cards are common, 67 of them are uncommon, 50 rares, and 14 mythic rares. It also had a brand new card type, which were conspiracy cards. There'll be one per pack, so we can take a little bit of time to look at it. I really like Conspiracy, both the original Conspiracy and then Conspiracy Take the Crown. It was really fun to draft with my friends. We have a play group of 4 people, and so each of us bought 3 of these packs, drafted them, had a lot of fun. Conspiracy was a hit in my opinion. As a kitchen table top Magic player, Conspiracy is right down our alley. Relatively cheap packs, very fun draft. I would dare say that myself and my friends love to see this come out again. So with this pack, what are some of the cards that we're looking to hit? The cool thing is there's 14 mythics. 9 of those 14 mythics are $5 or more. So that's pretty good value. There's a number of cards that are over $2 in value. In fact, there are around 4 or 5 uncommons that have $2 or more in value. Ghostly Prison, Palace Jailer, Marchese's Decree, Beast Within, Serum Visions. These are great cards. The other thing that I liked about Conspiracy is there were a lot of reprints. You had some brand new cards that were Conspiracy focused, but there were a good number of reprints. And a lot of those reprints are from older sets that I didn't play with. And so it was really cool to open these and get some of these cards. Ghostly Prison is one of my favorite cards. I run it in one of my blue-white control decks. Palace Jailer was a really fun card as well. It's seeing a lot of play in like legacy format. So none of these cards were eligible to be played in standard or modern, but you can play them in legacy, commander, and other formats like that. So let's crack this pack and see what I got. Hoping for a really cool uncommon, rare, or I'm hoping to get one of those 9 super nice mythics. So first card is Child of Night. Child of Night has been reprinted a lot of times. It's 2 mana, 2/1 vampire with lifelink. I play it in draft, really love it. Next one is Cloaked Siren, 4 mana, 3/2 Siren with flash and flying. I'm a blue-white flyers player. This is the type of card I like. Play it on your end step, flash it in. I got a 3/2 in the air. If you don't take care of that 3/2, it's going to do some damage each turn. Fiery Fall, 6 mana, instant. Fiery Fall deals 5 damage to target creature. It's got basic land cycling for 2 mana. I don't know that I'm too excited for this card. 6 mana to deal 5 damage to a creature is nice. If it hit any target, it'd be better. Next one is Strom Patrol, 4 and a black, 4/3 ground soldier. It's a vampire soldier. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. This was a fun card to draft and play in the Innistrad. Innistrad had kind of that monsters theme. You could put it together with some vampires. Next we have Entourage of Trest, 4 and a green for a 4/4 elf soldier. When it enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. The Monarch was a really cool ability that as long as you were the Monarch at the end of your turn, if you retain being the Monarch, you got to draw a card. Super flavorful. I really liked it. Entourage of Trest can block an additional creature each combat as long as you're the Monarch. So when I drafted Conspiracy Take the Crown, I drafted green-white, and this card was an all-star. I really liked it. That was a common. Doom Traveler, 1 planes for a 1/1 human soldier. When it dies, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Doom Traveler is a great card. You play it for 1, you get a 1/1. It dies, you get a 1/1 flyer. In Innistrad block, this is a great card. I've played a lot of this card. It's great sacrifice fodder. Sack it and get yourself a 1/1 block. Chump block. It dies, you get a 1/1. Doom Traveler is a really fun card. Messenger Jays, 5 mana, 4 and a blue, 2/1 flyer. It's got Council's Dilemma, so that was another mechanic in Conspiracy Take the Crown. When Messenger Jay enters the battlefield starting with you, each player votes for a feather or quill. Put a +1/+1 counter on Messenger Jay for each feather vote, and draw a card for each quill vote. For each card drawn this way, discard a card. I didn't really get to play with this too much. I don't think it pans out as a 5 mana 2/1 flyer. Most of the time, what I saw was people were willing to make you draw a card, discard a card, simply because at that point, at that time of the game, you don't have that many cards, and if you have 0 cards in hand, you just end up drawing and discarding the card that you have. Deputized Protester, 3 mana, 2 and a green. Human Warrior, 2/1. It's got Menace and it's got Melee. Melee was another mechanic in Conspiracy Take the Crown. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each opponent you attacked. So in Conspiracy, if you're playing against at least 3 other players, like I was, this worked out pretty well. I didn't have Melee in red. I had it in green and white, and I had the white flyer, the common flyer, and it was usually hitting for 3 a turn. Bronze Sable, this is a reprint out of Theros. 2 generic mana, you get a 2/1 artifact creature, Sable. Not very interesting. Okay, Deathwind. X and a black. Instant, target creature gets -X until end of turn. It's a reasonable kill spell. You target what you need to. As the game goes on, it gets better because you can dump more mana into it. Brush Strider is our first uncommon. For 2 mana, 1 and a green, you get a 3/1 beast that has a vigilance. This is kind of the start of the cycle of getting 2 mana, 3/1 creatures. They tend to really, I like them. You play it for 2 mana, especially this creature's got vigilance. If your opponent slips or doesn't have anything on their second turn, you're going to hit them for 3. It is horrible because it trades with a lot of 1/1s, but later on in the game, a 3/1 can take out a lot of creatures on defense. All right, next uncommon, Overrun. 5 mana, 2 and 3 green. It's a sorcery. Creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample until end of turn. Overrun is one of my favorite cards. I've played in a number of decks that go wide. So, for instance, like an elf deck. I currently play in a green elf deck. You've got a number of creatures out there. You drop an Overrun. Next thing you know, you're attacking each creature's either a 4/4 or 5/5 with trample, wins you the games. It's really susceptible to counter spells when you tap out all your mana, but most of the time you're going to play Overrun and just beat face. Final uncommon is Keepsake Gorgon. For 5 mana, 3 and 2 black, you get a 2/5 Gorgon with Death Touch. It's got Monstrosity 1, so this came out of the Theros block. So for 7 mana, 5 and 2 black, if the creature wasn't previously monstrous, you can put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it becomes monstrous, so the Gorgon turns into a 3/6. And usually when you did something with monstrous or monstrosity, it gave it an additional benefit aside from the +1/+1 counter. In this case, Keepsake Gorgon becomes monstrous, destroy target non-Gorgon creature an opponent controls. So for 7 mana, you're going to get a 3/6, but you're also going to be able to kill something on your opponent's side. It's an okay card. I've played it a little bit in Theros block, and usually it would draw a destroy spell from my opponent, so it'd keep one of my other cooler creatures around because my opponent knew that I was going to monstrous it and kill theirs. All right, so let's hope for a great rare and mythic, and we have Spitting Slime. So for 5 mana, 3 and 2 green, You get an Ooze creature. It's a 3/3. It has Monstrosity 3 for 6 mana, so 4 and 2 green. So in this instance, you would play or pay 6 mana, and you get a 6/6. In addition to getting a 6/6, when Spitting Slime becomes monstrous, put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of Spitting Slime. So that's pretty cool. The copy is going to be a 3/3. You can monstrous that. If it sticks around, then you can create another one when you monstrous it. So, you know, I've never played with it, but it seems like it would be a pretty fun creature to play. All right, look at the rest of the pack. Here's our conspiracy card. So the conspiracy cards, you would draft them, and then you would start with the game with your conspiracy card face down. And then whenever the opportunity arose that you could use the conspiracy card, you would turn it up, and you would reveal whatever card or whatever, I think most of the time it was a card. You'd reveal the chosen name, and then creatures you control with the chosen name have fire breathing. So you pay a red. This creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So, in this instance, let's say you had chosen, let's get our red creature here, Deputized Protester. When the opportunity came up, you would reveal your conspiracy. You'd say Deputized Protester. So when this thing attacks, it would have fire breathing. Okay. And then we have a soldier token. So looking at the pack, my favorite card is going to be Overrun. I think it's the best card in the pack. If you can build your deck to be, low to the ground, go wide, you're going to get the opportunity to play Overrun, and it is going to do some damage. Like I said, I play it in an elf deck where by the time I'm able to play Overrun, where I can hold it for a couple of more turns, I've got 6 to 7, 8 elf creatures out there. Play it, opponent most of the time, as soon as you play it, if they don't have a counter or a way to deal with things, will concede. Interestingly enough, out of this pack, value-wise, Overrun appears to have a little bit more value than Spitting Slime, our rare. Overrun is 21 cents, and Splitting Slime, that's a hard one to say, multiple times, is 18 cents. So pretty much a 3 cents difference. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe and share. Until next time when I crack another pack. Later, most best.